Hi guys, so today we're going to do a flip through. I finally completed the purple journal, and I wanted to do a flip through for you. I'd say it's 99.9% done. Anyways, it's a junk journal, and it utilizes stuff I already had in my stash, and trash, and just basic stuff, junk. So I guess it's kind of a cross between a trash journal and a junk journal. The cover here was a piece of paper off of one of my stacks. I'm sorry, I can't tell you which one. And the little butterflies here, that was wrapping paper, and I cut those out, fussy cut them, and then just went around them with gold pen. These are actual studs. They go all the way through, and bent the backs of them. Had those in my stash. There's little stickers and things. The batik fabric here, this was part of one of my friend's stash. My dear friend Holly, who died last summer rather unexpectedly. Well, expectedly because she'd been sick, but we didn't really think she was going to die. You know, like it was just like she'd been sick and doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And then all of a sudden she went into organ failure and died, which was really, really sad because she was just in her early 40s and she was one of the coolest people I've ever met. So wise. And she taught me how to spin art yarn. So after she passed, her sister very generously gave me her spinning wheel and a lot of her stash. And this batik fabric was in her stash. So if you've received some of this batik fabric from me, please understand that it meant a lot to me, and I wanted to share her love and her passion and her creativity with other people. I feel like it has her energy in it. So anyways, I put a bunch of my little cheat beads on the ends of it. There are 3 signatures in this book, so I bound each one of the signatures with glue and with the batik fabric. This was just an old jewelry finding that I had in my jewelry making stash. Okay, so let's get going on the flip. First page here was one of my doodles. You probably saw that in an earlier video. And the inside, the whole cover was glued to a used manila envelope. So it's sort of an envelope journal. Although it's not like a proper envelope journal. It wasn't put onto a new envelope, but it was a nice stiff manila envelope and it gave it plenty of sturdiness, I thought. This is a piece of hand-painted fabric or paper that I got from Liz, aka Sugar, off of her Etsy store. It came in the package that I got from her from Etsy, and I really love it. And I loved that it had the purple in it. It was very psychedelic, I thought. So I was happy to be able to find a use for that. And it's a tuck spot. These stickers here came in a big package from Dollar Tree. So they were really inexpensive, and I got tons of big stickers. They're actually wall stickers. And I just really thought they were super pretty, and you'll see them here and there throughout, and I still have a couple left. The Indigo Wild was the catalog that formed a lot of the signatures for this book, and they sell really great soap and body products, natural products and things if you want to check them out online. And this is another page from Indigo Wild, and then I covered it with some other stuff here. Stickers. I went wild with the bling and the glitter tape, you guys, with this junk journal, and I hope you don't mind, but I love everything sparkly and glittery, and that's just me. So the Beauty and the Beast thing, and I did some journaling under here, but I didn't like my handwriting, so I covered it up with this little girl's business card. She's like 8 or 9 years old, and she sells soap at the local farmer's market. So her email is valeriesisters@gmail.com, and she makes really nice soap, And I just love it when kids are being industrious and enterprising. And what are you going to do? You have to buy the soap, right? Like, you have to. You just got to support that in the kid. So good to see. All right. Here's one of those embellished envelopes. And I have a little tag in there. This was one of the graphics that came out of the catalog that I used to order books and sidelines for the bookstore. So there's tons of little graphic things I got out of that catalog this time around. This is a Sri Yantra that I hand drew and colored. And you can Google Sri, S-R-I, Y-A-N-T-R-A, Sri Yantra if you want. It's Tibetan, I believe, and it symbolizes a very high vibration. So it's almost like it's like a stargate, you know. If you look at it long enough, you'll see that it's kind of multi-dimensional. So, anyways, I've always been drawn to the Sri. I don't know why. Here's a little tag that I made. I covered with some paper. It was just a simple paper tag. And I covered it and clipped it up there. This is the Amy Brown card here. And I've got that as a journal spot and more bling. And I painted that page with a little glitter and some handmade paper that I use like a washi strip down on the bottom. And here was the thing I fussy cut out of that catalog, out of the Signals catalog. Was it Signals? Was the name of the catalog? Oh. Expressions, that's it. The name of the catalog is Expressions. Tons of very girly things in there. She came out of last month's Vogue. It is a Giuseppe Veneta, or something like that, ad. I think she's selling shoes. But she was purple, so she ended up in the purple book. And I drew wings on her. I thought she needed wings because she didn't look super happy. So I said, I think she needs angel wings. Here's a Sacred Journey paperclip that I made. This is another journal spot here. And a tea bag that I embellished. And inside of it is Holly's business card, and you can see that's a picture of some of her handmade yarn. So she was so special to me, you guys. I just miss her so very much. Anyways, if you flip it like that, you got a little spot to journal right there. And here is Buddha. That's the quilt that came out of Quilting Arts magazine. It was made by Darlene Velman out of Portland, Oregon, and the name of the piece is Om is Where My Heart Is. And it says, I put Go Beyond over the top, and I am ready. And yes, I'm ready to go beyond. I've been meditating for a long time, and I would like to finally be able to break through. I haven't really broken through yet, you guys. I've seen a lot of stuff in my meditations, but I don't feel like I've ever really just been gone, you know. Okay, so here is another tag. This was a clothing tag. Company that I used to represent called Island Tribe Knits. IslandTribeKnits.com. Really great knit clothing. Rhonda, the lady that owns the company, is very sweet and generous and makes some really cool stuff. So check her out online. And this is the Greek doll Persephone doll, and I put live underneath there, and I think that Persephone is associated with springtime. So she comes up from the underworld. She goes down to the underworld every year. Hades takes her, and I think Demeter was her mother, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really remember a whole lot about my Greek mythology, but she represents the rebirth, represents spring coming forth, because she goes underground in the winter, or she goes to the underworld with Hades, and then he lets her go. In the spring, she comes back forth again. So, anyways, this was the Pantone color of the year a couple years ago, Radiant Orchid. I had that paint chip because I actually painted a wall in my house that color. It was my bathroom for a while, and it was very groovy. I loved it. It's a different color now. My bathroom's purple now. Feeling the purple lately. This is a little cover of a calendar from that, from the catalog, from the book catalog. It's a tuck spot here. Blank piece behind there. This piece here was, this is a piece of photo paper that I alcohol inked to get that effect on it. And I just used one of those little clear stickers over it. It says beloved. And Rumi did write a lot about love. So I would like to find a nice Rumi poem and maybe journal it on here. That's something I'll do down the road. It's another little journal spot here. You could write around the butterfly. All right, and this one says, how good can you feel? And I think this was from Yogi Tea advertisement for the tea bags, like for Yogi Tea. And then some of these Jot stickers that were really dimensional and really cute. Of course, gotta love Dollar Tree. Gotta love Jot. This was a page from a fractal calendar. And here is a dog on the moon. And this little thing here says the meaning of life is to live it. You flip it over. I have a tag and a little blank paper with lavender flowers on it for journaling. Here's another tuck spot here. Some more of the butterfly stickers. This was a whole nother big sheet of stickers that I got at Dollar Tree. All right. Now these, here's the dyed cupcake tin liner here. And I also took some of that yoga flyer. This was a flyer from the local yoga studio that I just liked the little silhouettes. And so they probably got it out of some clip art somewhere, but it says mind, and down here it says body. And this little tin here is the back of a Oikos yogurt lid. And I washed it off and cleaned it real well and dyed it with the alcohol ink. So it makes a nice little frame. What do you think, guys? Isn't that cool? What a great way to recycle a little piece of trash into some art. Here's a fry box. This is from McDonald's. And up top it says every day, hustling all day, every day. There's one of my funky stickers. Now the stickers I got off eBay. If you Google skateboard stickers, you can buy a whole lot of these funky stickers for not that much, like under $10, and they'll send you like 100 stickers, and they're fairly good size, and they're really graphic and very punk rock and just really cool. They have tons of them, and I've been enjoying using my stash in my books. Now this here was something that my friend Krista drew for me. I ordered out of her Etsy store, Krista's Angels on Etsy. And she also has a channel. She is a channel. She channels Orion Council. And I will link her channel in this description of this video. For some people, it might be really out there what Krista and her boyfriend Ra do. But they're star seeds, and they live in Sedona. And they're very in touch with celestial and galactic energy, and she channels a group of beings. In other words, they speak through her. Channeling, they speak through her from Orion, not the Pleiades, from Orion. And they are called Orion Council. And she's written several books. She's very prolific and very talented and very smart. And I just adore her. She's just got such a groovy starseed vibe. And anyways, she knows she's awesome too. And she is. And her and Ra, they're different. They're out there, but they've got a lot of interesting things to say too. And I think we should always kind of have an open mind, take different things into consideration. Me, I'm still grappling with my traditional Judeo-Christian ideology and figuring out how all that works out for me. And yet I still believe in extraterrestrials and things like that. I really truly believe that there's just more to it than what we see is the story that's presented to us for thousands of years. So anyways, that's my name, and she drew that for me. So there's that. All right. And this was another sticker that she sent me. It says psychics are normal. And I love that because it's like, yeah, psychic pride. It's Krista for you. And here I put a little flip spot. This was one of those Amy Brown envelopes. And underneath here, there's a little spot, a tuck spot here. And I'll probably end up putting something else in here someday. This was out of one of my women's health magazines. And she's being very healthy and she's stretching. And I love looking at those magazines. I think they're good positive inspiration for us to take care of ourselves. Here's a tuck spot that was made out of one of those little spirograph things that one of my kids must have done years ago. I've had this in my little junk pile stash of stuff for years. And so now that I know about junk journaling, yay, I have a use for it. Isn't that wonderful? I just love how all of this stuff that I've just hoarded and held on to just comes together in this project, these projects. Another paper clip that I made out of, this was a Joanne circular and then just scraps of paper. And this Bagua, which is what they call that, that's a Chinese symbol and it's for feng shui. And the Bagua, this is actually a trigram, came out of the New Age bookstore catalog. I did quite a study a few years back on feng shui, and I actually did what you call compass school, not just black hat. Black hat is the Western version. I went deep into the compass school, and I feng shuied my whole house in the right way with the compass school, the directions, and I was starting to follow the flying stars for a while, and I kind of quit doing that. I'm not really doing the flying stars anymore, but I feel like just having good feng shui does help you feel better. There's something to it for sure. And here it says, question the answers. And I think we should. I think we should question the answers and then not just take everything at face value. I believe that over the years, the Catholic Church, I think, hid a lot of information, and they kind of picked and chose what they wanted to present as the truth, you know. And I believe a lot of what they presented as the truth was the things that benefit them as a power. So I find it really interesting that they've recently discovered new Dead Sea Scrolls. I can't wait to see what information those might end up presenting from the Essenes. All right, here's a little tuck spot. I took this picture out of a magazine and I put wings on her. And then I covered her, I put it here, it says happiness. And in the back, I covered her with purple paper for journaling. And she just fits in there like that. And then you have to flip this, which is easier to do with two hands. There we go. Okay. So there's that. Here's Buddha. He's floating around in space. He's so groovy. Love Buddha. I'm a big follower of Christ. I love Jesus. Jesus is my main dude, you know. I mean, I'll talk more about that some other time. That's a conversation for another time. But Buddha came long before Christ, and he was a very highly advanced soul, you know. He came to help people and to serve humanity and to help set people free from their limitations. So, I mean, just because you like Buddha, does that mean that you're cheating on Christ? I don't think so. I really don't. I think they can work together. I really truly believe that somewhere in the grand scheme of things that Buddha and Christ are brothers. And brothers in the spiritual sense. I believe that they work hand in hand. And I don't believe that Christ has got any problem with Buddha, to be honest with you. This is the zebras. I don't know where I got them, but she's kind of standing out and doing her own thing. She's being an individual. That spoke to me. I'm very much that zebra in the middle. And it says, you be you, underneath there in Tim Holtz letters. And this was the hand-dyed coffee filter that I tie-dyed with alcohol inks. And if you want, there are videos on my channel that show you how to do that. There's a tutorial on that. Here is balloons flying over an Indian temple, it appears to be. I don't think that's Angkor Wat. I think that is actually in India. And up above here, it says, "The ascension continues." And yes, it does. And here, this page says "Spring Loaded," and it's the one of the pretty quilts that I picked out of Quilting Arts magazine and used as a background. And there is another one of those great, fabulous butterfly stickers from Dollar Tree. I can't believe they were only $1. And here's some wrapping paper that I found at one of the thrift stores. All right, now this picture here, this is a card. This is a painting that my stepfather Lou painted, and that is my mother in the painting, and she is sitting on the couch in their townhouse in the Lake District of England, and she's reading books. And you see here it says "read." Now, Mom and Lou met late in life. They've only been married a couple years. She met him on a trip to Scotland to go paint in Scotland, and they fell madly in love and married. And here it says inside, "Change is beautiful, and yes, change is everything." And it was a huge change for her to leave her house in Colorado up in the mountains. She had a beautiful house on, a couple 100 acres in Colorado in the mountains. And she sold all of that and moved to England to be with Lou. And they have just had a wonderful time. I really truly think that Lou is the love of her life. She had 2 not so great marriages, and the second one was actually pretty long. It was good at first, but it got worse as the years went. And when after he retired, he kind of fell into some really bad habits, and they drifted further and further apart. They became more like roommates, than a married couple. And she suffered for a very long time, and she just stayed. I don't know why, but out of obligation, I guess, or convenience, or financial necessity, I don't know. But finally, she had the courage to leave that relationship. And then the result now is that she's with Lou and that she's completely happy. She had the courage, y'all, to change her life. And I'm so proud of her for that. And I'm so inspired by her willingness to choose what was best for her in life. Because it's scary when you get older to think about being alone. She took a huge chance, but she ultimately decided that she'd be better off alone than miserable for the rest of her life. And then it turned out that she wasn't miserable at all. She found the very best thing in the end. And they have a wonderful life. They live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. And they travel a lot around together, and they paint together. They're both plein air painters. Lou is you can see by this painting just how talented he is. And I love my stepfather, Lou. I think he's just a very considerate human being. Very dear and philosophical and knowledgeable and traveled and everything I would have picked out for her. All right, I'm going to tear up if I don't stop. So here's another embellished envelope. Here is Krista's card. I'm going to put that up there in case you want to look into her store. She's at galacticfairy.com. She channels for the Orion Council. Her Etsy store is kristasangels.etsy.com. You can buy Ormus and stuff from her. They make like a really high grade of Ormus. I've been wanting to try it really badly. If you don't know what Ormus is, just type it into the YouTube bar in your search bar above, and you will find lots of videos on it. You'll have to decide for yourself if you think it would be something interesting. But Ormus is one of those substances that's supposed to help you decalcify your third eye. It helps you to become more psychic and to have more clairvoyance. Here is a little another little tuck spot out of an envelope, and I made a little journaling tag here. And it moves right in there. And this was one of those paint pages, freezer paper. Some tarot cards that came out of the catalog, the bookstore catalog. It says the only constant is change. And to me, butterflies represent change. That's why I think they're really perfect for a springy catalog, like the purple book here is, or for a springy journal, because, you know, spring is all about the change of things, the change of seasons, and the bursting forth of new life, which I really like. Although butterflies are at the end of their life cycle, so I don't know, go figure. But here's another. This was just a notepad. I got a bunch of these little flowers off the notepad, and they made perfect addition to the purple journal. This was a little card that I found at a thrift store. I colored in the inside and it bled through a little bit, but I put a little fairy in there and another fairy and a flower of life, and it was for keeping track of your score at bridge. It's for playing bridge, but I liked how it was, pretty. And so it's in this tuck spot here. It says here, live in the present. Next page. This was that card that my friend Marie Carter did. Marie Carter. You can check out Marie Carter fan page on Facebook. I'll see if I can remember to put the link for that in the description. And she is a super uber talented artist and makes the coolest art dolls, as I had mentioned in the last video. And I just felt like her art deserved a place in this book. This is another tea bag here against the wrapping paper background. And I have a tiny book here that I made. And this was out of images and things that were in the Sideline catalog. So there's just, there's all kinds of really cool little pictures and artwork in that Sideline catalog that I felt like I had to utilize. Open your heart. I don't know if it will focus or not. It's trees. Big sequoia. This one says, please don't support war. And that one says, hug kids. That one says, forever blessed. And there's a little road there. In the end it says, go in peace. So I really had fun making that little book. Next page. Another text spot. Another journal. This is just a simple piece of paper. I may yet reinforce that on something else. I haven't decided yet. These little wavy guys. That's a piece of bulletin board border that I got in the Dollar Tree section for the teachers. Stuff that teachers use to decorate their classrooms with. And they have a sticky side like a post-it note. And then they have this loose side. And I doubled this one up to make the tuck spot. I glued two of them together. Here's another tuck spot. This is also some of Krista's art. So you can see, she's really psychedelic. And I love the unicorn in there. And I put the little sticker on the top that says believe. And she's just got all kinds of imagery and stuff in there. I loved it. I thought it was very psychedelic. And so it's now a tuck spot. And I've got this little piece of paper tucked in here. Moving on. Oops. Come back, paper. Alright. There we go. We're getting near the end. This is more of just a collage. This page, there's not a lot of function to it. It says Bohemian Element. I love the succulent, the picture of the succulent. This was something that came out of Unlimited Horizons magazine. I believe it was advertisement for a new age store in South Florida somewhere. Tape, glitter, plant seeds, sing songs. And yet another tuck spot here. Nothing in it yet. More butterfly stickers. More of the Hancocks of Paducah catalog. Here's another one of Marie Carter's fabulous drawings. This is a card, a greeting card. I just love her. She is so mystical, and she looks like she's about to whop a big old mama jama on someone, doesn't she? She's been channeling some energy there. She got herself a full-on red ball, white ball of lightning going there. I hope it's healing energy that she's fixing to throw to someone. And that's why I put here, power to heal. And here's a tag. And a tuck spot on the inside of the card. And of course you could journal in there to your heart's content. Last page. No, second to last page. This was one of my kids' spin art things. I colored that in. I got the Lisa Frank coloring book from Dollar Tree. And you know, Lisa Frank, oh my gosh, what a throwback. It was so much fun back in the day. It's a little bit after my time, but I remember my daughter Lisa was all about Lisa Frank. And so to me, it's nostalgic, you know. It reminds me of her, especially the little horsey, the little Lisa Frank horsey, because I always called my daughter Donkey Butt because she had a little horsey butt. And she's a Sagittarius, so she's my oldest child. Lisa has always been a little horsey to me. She's my little horsey. We used to give her horsey bites when she was little, and she hated it. She'd go, ah! And the noises she made were so cute that we just had to keep doing it. We had to do more and more. We couldn't help ourselves. She was adorable, you guys. She's all grown up now. She's almost 30. I can't believe it. There's a groovy dog. This guy here looks Balinese to me. He used one of those skateboard stickers. I think he looks a little bit like that Indian dude to Jaggernaut or whatever, but I don't think he's Jaggernaut. I think he's a dragon. He looks more like a Chinese dragon with those fangs. I hope he's not a demon or something, but I don't do demon, okay? You know, I don't like to glorify that. But I thought he was pretty funky looking the way he was drawn. I just hope he's something that's good luck and not bad luck, okay? This was a card from a friend of mine, and I put it in here because it's so full of the nicest sentiments. She just made me feel so good. I haven't gotten a card from her in a while. We've lost touch. She was just a pen pal, and I hope that she's okay. I write her still, despite that I'm not hearing back from her. But I'm just assuming that she's not feeling well, or that she's in a bad way or something, and so I still pray for her. But she's my friend Diane in California, and I mean, she just writes the nicest things. She says, you so deserve every day to be your special day. Kind, you're so kind, caring, and generous, understanding. And I'm not sure what that says, all the while or something, all the day. That's you. My Chris. And then she puts ST on the end of it. My Christ. Or no, my artist. That's right. My artist. Happy birthday to you, Chris. Dear friend Chris. Dear sweet friend Chris. Happy birthday, sweetheart. She writes it a bunch of times. And she says, happy birthday, you sweet, gentle soul. Wishing you the best of what life has to offer you, your dear friend Diane. So just reading that makes me feel good about myself. And what a sweetheart she is to write such a beautiful card. She was always really good at writing cards. I don't know where she is. I hope that she's okay, you know. I've lost so many people in my life. It wouldn't surprise me if she hadn't passed on or something, but I hope not. I worry about her because her health has not been good. She's another one. Anyways, here is, this is actually, where is it? Here it is. I used this brass trivet to spray that. I used it as a template to spray this design onto this piece of cardboard. I had done this a long time ago, didn't know what I was going to use it for. Was just playing around using that trivet as a stencil. And so we have another tuck spot here. Now the background here is something different. That is a masking tape background, and I might do a tutorial on that for you guys. This was something I saw done back in the 70s. I actually went to someone's house once and they had done a whole refrigerator covered with that. And it was just really cool looking, and it made an impact on me. I never forgot it, and I haven't really seen it done since. So I don't know if it was something that person just came up all by themselves, or if it was something that was done frequently in the 70s. If you know the answer to that, please leave me a comment on that. But I'm going to go ahead and probably do a tutorial on that soon for you all, because I think it's a really neat surface technique. And then one last big butterfly. And that's it, y'all. So I do have, like I said, some plans to do a few quick tutorials for you here coming up. Got a couple ideas up my sleeve. And so you can be expecting those really soon. But that's the purple journal. I'm really happy with it. I had a lot of fun with it. And it's spurred a lot other ideas now, a lot more things that I want to work on after doing this one. I want to do a psychedelic journal. I certainly have tons of stuff that would qualify for a psychedelic journal. And I've got the Paris journal, or the French journal, is definitely in the works. I've been picking up so much ephemera for that. It's about ready to go. I'm waiting on a few more things to come in for the sci-fi journal to do that. And the Star Wars journal, I'll probably get close to doing closer to the end of April. I hope to be able to unveil and flip through the Star Wars journal on May the 4th, y'all. And if you have to ask, you just don't know. All right, loves. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really would appreciate it if it's your first time on my channel, if you would consider subscribing. I'm still trying to build up my subscriptions and build this channel up, and I would be so honored if you would. And I'm so grateful for everybody who has subscribed and who takes the time to watch my videos. Grateful for all of you. So take care and have a beautiful rest of your week.